Memphis Center, Yankee 72 on 3587.
Yankee 72, Memphis Center, roger. Yankee 72, Memphis Center, how do you hear? Yankee 72, Memphis Center on guard. Yankee 72, Memphis Center on guard. Contact Memphis Center 135.87.
I was sitting on my couch. I was awake for some reason. I don't know. I stay up late occasionally. And something went on to Facebook that there had been a plane crash.
There's a plane crash on County Road 286 near the county line.
352, it'll be 10-8, and route to plane fire.
You know, they said it was a military plane, and so I was kind of, you know, you have that feeling as a wife, like, oh, it might be somebody I know, it might be somebody's husband, it might be a friend of a friend, family member, whatever it is, you have this feeling anytime an accident happens. And they weren't saying where the plane originated from, they weren't saying, you know, where it was going, where it came from, who was on it, and then slowly news stories started like coming through.
The plane was moving people and equipment from North Carolina to California.
And then slammed into a soybean field about 85 miles north of Jackson. FBI and local authorities are still sifting through the debris this morning across a 5-mile radius.
I didn't have cable or anything at the time, so when everything happened on the day, I had no idea. Was completely clueless. We were texting each other like we always do, and I had assumed that he'd fallen asleep, and then he got there and got busy maybe. Was waiting for his text that he had landed, and I never got it, but I was sure that when I woke up the next morning I would have, you know, an explanation. And
you know, being in this community and everything you hear about, things happen all the time. You're always watching the news and you see stories and, you know, you feel sorry. But when I saw this article and I started reading it, I got this immense feeling in my stomach that something wasn't right immediately, something that I never felt before.
And I said no, I wasn't supposed to hear from him until 9:30. It was only 8:50 at night at this point. So then as the night went on, I just didn't hear anything. His phone was off. I just kind of knew something was up because he was notorious for his phone dying, but within like an hour he'd plug it in and call me. It wasn't like he went any extensive period of time before he made contact.
My phone started going off late that night, wasn't answering it, and then the next day I saw the messages, people were sending me the articles, and then I got the call from the battalion and a few other friends.
I got a phone call from one of my best friends, and she said, Ashley, there's been a crash. There's been a plane crash and Billy was on it. And they're looking for you to come notify you.
I knew that I really wanted to do something. I just didn't know if I could, because when you're deployed, you usually don't have internet access, you don't have the ability to make phone calls. Last time, I was an instructor. I had the ability to teach my classes and set aside time to work on the ruck march.
Unit members marched their final miles into the gates of the MARSOC compound at Stone Bay, carrying a flag and paddle recovered from the crash site. The march started at the crash site on March 11th, and the men formed 7 two-man teams to bring their brothers home in a relay-style road march. Although it was split up in 11-mile increments, the Marine Raiders say it wasn't easy.
Eventually, some of the people that rucked with us last time started contacting me. Nate, I think we need to do this again. And, you know, I talked to some of them, you know, seeing if they would be willing to help me.
Nate called me shortly after the accident happened and explained that there was another MARSOC team that went down, and just told me to be prepared for another ruck march coming about.
Steve called and asked if I would be interested in getting involved. And he asked if I would jump in and take care of lining up law enforcement for the 900 miles of the ruck. Well, I told him I needed overnight to think about it. And honestly, it was to get out a map and take a look at the general route they were taking and see what was up in front of me.
Honestly, it wasn't even a thought in my mind, probably any of us, or any of our minds at the time. Nate approached us a few months after the accident, after things had kind of, you know, the funerals and all those things kind of had settled a little bit, and, you know, the real healing process had started, and he presented the idea, and there was just no doubt in my mind that I wanted to do something like this, to be able to honor him, to speak for him, to be able to carry his name, you know, and speak of his stories. And it could be a selfish thing, but I was like, you know, as his wife, I felt that was my duty to him, to pick up, get myself off the floor, work my butt off, train, you know, through blood, sweat, and tears, and, you know, show him that he didn't marry a weak woman.
He basically was just like, you know, we're doing this again, and, you know, do you want to be a part of it? And I was like, of course. You know, there's no way I was not going to be.
It was like I heard the word ruck and I said when and where.
Oh, as soon as I saw the email, I knew I wanted to be a part of it.
To memorialize my husband, to remember my husband, to keep his name alive, I'm doing it.
The decision was made. We will ruck again.
About a week before the start point of the Marine Raider Memorial March, myself and some of the other crucial staff members came in, and we set up shop on the Mississippi Valley State University campus. So we had an area of the campus that wasn't being utilized during the summer. It was a male dorm, and we set up our little command center. The memorial was still being constructed, you know, within a few days of the families coming in. The concrete was drying, you know, through the ceremonies.
We're about to get on the plane. Yep. Say bye. Bye.
The last few days before all the different families of the fallen and the ruckers came in were incredibly hectic. It was like painting a car while it was driving down the highway.
Months ago, I made a reservation with Enterprise in Jackson to rent 10 intermediate SUVs from them and 4 intermediate cars. Confirmed the reservations, everything's been golden until today. We showed up to pick the reservations up and they have absolutely nothing for us.
Ended up talking to the district chief. A private 737 wheels up from North Carolina at this point in time.
Never above you, never below you, always beside you. Woo!
And luckily that man was able to help us out. I don't know how he did it, but he found the vehicles that we needed, and we got the vehicles filled up. I'm talking within 30 minutes of that plane landing, we were filling up vehicles, getting paperwork signed, doing inspections on vehicles. Everyone just came together, and we were just this well-oiled machine, and we're very lucky that everything fell into place. As they were taxiing up the runway, we were driving vehicles into the parking lot and putting placards on it, and we pulled it off.
Welcome to Mississippi and welcome to the Marine Rail Memorial March.
We established a briefing room inside of the command center that was utilized during the recovery efforts. The first thing that I wanted to do was lay out the rules of the road. So where are we exactly, where are we going, and what are we doing for the next few days?
What I want to do is I want to put all the ruckers in formation in a circle facing inboard with your rucks laid in front of you.
Education side of physical fitness, warming up and doing this stuff, been training. I want to know what you've been doing so that the rest of the group knows what everybody else is kind of doing.
We had the first day, a really, really hot day. In the middle of the day, it was rough. We were overheating. You know, we're in the Mississippi heat. None of us could have acclimated that unless we lived there for 20 years. There's no getting used to that heat. And that was our first ruck.
So it's actually one way that if we don't have, like if we can't just diagnose it because we have a blood plan or something, I could just process it away.
So today's an opportunity to remember these young Marines and sailor, patriots, and draw from their examples. This memorial that we're going to unveil here later today will help us honor their lives and their sacrifice, but it won't keep their memory alive. The only way to do that is to say their names and tell their stories. In a moment, the chaplain's going to stand up here and we're going to recite their names. If you feel so inspired, mouth it. If you feel even more inspired, say it out loud. Harder to forget a name when you say it. We need to tell their stories to keep them alive and tell their stories so that they might inspire others, perhaps to serve their country in the years to come. And by telling their stories, we can bring comfort and perhaps some peace to those they left behind. So today's a day of celebration, honoring each of the men aboard Yankee 72. It's a day for us to show our gratitude that there are still such fine men as these who, when they could have done anything else with their lives, chose a life of service and sacrifice. Semper Fidelis and Spiritus Invictus.
Our sixth president, John Quincy Adams, once said that the posterity, which means the future generations, will not know the price that was paid by those who came before them. But it's memorial sites like this, and the one I stood in on Memorial Day at Belleau Wood, where we fought 100 years ago, that will remind us in the jungles of Guadalcanal, in the Delta of Mississippi, off the coast of Florida, and everywhere else we perished. I sit in the office over a monument in the Pentagon that reminds me every day that I want to weep and feel sorry for myself. I look over into Arlington Cemetery at those who've paved the way for every one of us sitting here today. I look down out the window at a memorial from 9/11. And when I visit Mississippi, I can promise you I'll come back to this Delta and visit this monument. Gold Star families, we will not forget. We will not forget our family. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. God bless us all. Safe travels. Hoorah. That's true Marine Corps fashion right there. Hey, woo! I'm sorry, Mr. Governor, I got fired up, sir. Woo! At this time, we ask all that are participating or assisting in the unveiling of the unveil and take their position around the parachute. All that are assisting in the unveil and take your position around the parachute.
Ready? Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Yankee 72 Memorial.
And stuff like that. I want to keep it short and sweet. Something really struck with me this morning when General Mundy was talking about continuing to say their name. That is what we're about with the Marine Wear Memorial March. We want to make sure that the public that we're interacting with over our 900-mile ruck march get to know their names. Because right now, between us and Camp Lejeune, there's a lot of people that know of 16 people. And that's it. And what we're trying to do is put the person behind the number. And that's what we're here to do.
Ready? Now! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. United States Marine Corps Yankee 72 Governor.
All right, let's bring them home.
I never expected it. I didn't know so many people would come out and support us and bring us water and food and just be there to like shake our hand or hug us and encourage us. It was the most motivating thing. And then there's a group of people, you know, right up the road and they're cheering you on and you get this boost of energy and you're like, no, I can do this.
Even in the midst of the darkest times in our lives and the worst nightmares and our fears coming true, you can still stand and be strong and come out of this on the other side.
The physical demands were almost therapeutic. I kind of just took all of my, painful emotions that I've had throughout the past year and just threw it into that. I think it was healing. It really was.
It was a short time, maybe 2 months of prep. And even then I was like, it's all right. My feet are fine, whatever. And, but yeah, after we went through that first monsoon on day 2, I believe it was, yeah, my feet got tore up then and remained that way the entire time.
Get it, guys!
I'd say overall, one kind of
thing that stayed consistent was the positivity of what was going on with the teams and what we were doing. It wasn't necessarily a dread that we have to march again, we're still going, we're in pain. It was positive. It was the paddle has to keep moving. We were happy to be a part of it. We were happy to keep that road trucking on. And it really wasn't necessarily that it was these long, dark roads. It was that we had the opportunity to keep things moving forward and that we were able to be a part of that. And things have to keep going. And it was truly our honor to continue that.
It was an honor to ruck with Jack because I rucked with him on the first one, and we kind of knew each other and knew how everything worked out, and just, it was really neat. He was a little bit harder on me because I am older, but it was similar to the 2 years ago.
These guys are amazing, and they've all said, you know, we'll take care of you ladies, you know, forever. You're always a part of our family, your kids. You guys are always one of us, no matter what. And I believe them. I believe them 100%.
Kind of discouraged that I couldn't do it. I knew Ryan would not want me to do it because he'd want me to be there for our baby.
Cassie Lowry, we do hereby appoint you impregnated by Ryan Lowry and congratulate you on your soon-to-be new baby.
I did name her Ryan after her dad. So she literally is a spitting image of her dad. Her looks, her personality, her eating habits, her sleeping habits, everything is to a T. I feel like he is living through her.
So many people were moved by what we were doing. We had, you know, the occasional, you know, people getting mad that we were holding up traffic. But we didn't let it get to us, and the support outweighed the negative tenfold.
War Eagle, I'm here.
Aaron, I'm not going to ruck with you at that pace.
No,
that's all right. We're not going to ruck at this pace either.
That stop sign means something. Rock on.
It's fine when you can't get the kids.
They just need a couple minutes to warm up.
I'm indifferent. That's what he is.
Back here, Team 7, we picked up another rucker, Danny, from Lincoln, Alabama. Woo! Over 23 years in the Air Force, retired. Wanted to come out and support the cause. So we're out here, just under our halfway point, still trucking along. Danny's maintaining that 4-mile-an-hour pace, crushing it. Not even sweating yet, look at that.
Sweating a little bit.
All right, anything you want to say, Danny?
No, just come on out and support. It's a great cause. You know, these guys gave everything in the world so we can live free. The least you can do is come support them.
He's absolutely right. Honoring our brothers one step at a time. We love having guys along with us and gals. All right, Facebook, we're out for now. I got to pick up the pace.
Knocking this out.
What's going on, guys?
Tallapoosa, Georgia.
It's nice and hot.
Ginger is a frying.
Ginger.
Just a little bit before 1 o'clock, coming through downtown Tallapoosa, Georgia. A couple of people have come out to support us.
Got some Snickers for some extra energy.
Some cold waters. can't do it without you guys' support. We really appreciate it and helping us honor our service members, so thank you. How are y'all? Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
I'm really shocked, honored, humbled at the professionalism that I saw, and I would say over 98% of all of the agencies that I contacted, some of them being very small, but still getting the response that we'll do what we can. They had escorts for everything. And once the ruck actually started from Itabena, we had coverage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 900 miles, over 10 days of time. Remarkable, remarkable commitment.
I think one of the themes that really came to mind was that adversity does not define who we are as Raiders. We're the ones that decide what our narrative is, and the narrative that we decided to choose for this march was that we wanted to honor our men and tell their story. They're not just a name on a crash site memorial or, Marines that perished. They're husbands, their fathers, their fiancés, they're Marines, they're Raiders. There's so much more to these men other than just the fact that they perished in a crash.
Staff Sergeant Bobby Cox, a free spirit, who once had the temerity to tell his teammates in an icebreaker that his girl was like his Maserati. He didn't have one. And yes, Amber, I see you in the second row, a real hero. Petty Officer Ryan Lowry from the cornfields of Indiana, who wasn't afraid to tell everybody that his face bore the freckles of being kissed by an angel, because that's what his mother Teresa told him, and Teresa's here today too. Sergeant Dietrich Schmeeman from the Tri-City area of Richland, Washington. This is a personal story, a fan of very small, tight, silky shorts, but with a body that can model them. Sergeant Joe Murray, proud son of a Navy family and devoted father who fell in love at a very young age and married his high school sweetheart. Sergeant Talon Leach, Tab, it's still one of the coolest names I've ever heard, that seemed preordained to align with his and his wife Sarah's love of heavy metal music. Staff Sergeant Billy Kundrat, a tough second-generation Marine with a twinkle in his eye and $1 million smile, whose parting nod to his beautiful wife, his beautiful bride, with sunflowers. Sergeant Chad Jensen, who I learned at 290 pounds, morphed in high school from being known as Fat Chad into a muscular Marine Raider.
What was really cool about this, what was pretty, what kind of took my breath away was how well we were able to tell their story. Not just pictures of them, not just their names, but learning their personalities, their hobbies, their interests, what made these guys tick and what kind of was deeper than just, face value.
All right, Team 5, Team Cox, we just crossed over the 20. We're about just under 2 miles out from Covington, Georgia. Moving pretty quick, we'll be there any minute now. Time's like 50 minutes or whatever, but it's gonna be good. Everyone's looking great. Still have our law enforcement support. It's a beautiful day out, it's not too hot. See you all soon.
Morning, bud.
What's up?
Thank you so much.
Glad to do it.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Oh,
I'm there.
We'll see ya, yeah. Good job.
See ya. Bye, boys.
Yeah. See you
So long, boys.
So long, boys. Bye.
Take care, have a good ruck. Yes, sir. Thanks, brother. Absolutely.
Welcome to Warren County, Georgia. Just a quick fun fact for y'all. Keep it with you. Founded in 1793, it's actually named after General Joseph Warren, who was killed in the Battle of Bunker Hill. Also, double fun fact, on the Ogeechee River is where the wool and the mining was founded for the county. So there you go. Keep that with you. You'll have a great day.
Team Chad Jensen will be back with you in a little while with some fun facts about our fallen brother and friend. Those who knew Chad knew that he was a true patriot, and as a true patriot, he could appreciate patriotic clothing, which we are donning today, if you can see. Furthermore, Chad was a relentless worker. He was at work any chance he could have that he wasn't with his family, to excel at what he did because he took the job that seriously. And once he mastered his trade, he was going to come and excel in yours. That's who he was. Outside of that, Chad hated rucking. It's kind of ironic, I know. Also, he would want you to know this, that for proper French fry etiquette, if you were driving in the car with fast food and you were the driver, by default, you have rights to the fries in the bag, or the bonus fries, if you will.
You know, my husband was this just absolute machine when it came to working out. He'd win hit competitions on base. He would throw himself into whatever he could physically.
How you feeling? Woo! You? Yes, how are you feeling?
Oxygen is required.
It's down there.
Can we just check?
To be able to say, I can't sit down, I can't wallow in my self-pity, I gotta pick up, I gotta move on, I gotta do this, I gotta go ruck for my husband and his brothers, I gotta go pound that pavement. To have something to look forward to like that on the 1 year marker, there was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to participate in something like that, to bring limelight in such a positive way to such a tragic and unfortunate event in not only our lives and our families' lives, but in this community and in this country.
We'll see you down the road, yeah. Hang in there. Hey, no, that's fine, that's fine. Hang in there, you're doing great.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, dude, it's like, oh, thanks. Yeah, man. Thanks, brother. All right, later, guys. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, Facebook Nation. Our friend and brother, Talon Leach, loved metal music. So, my teammate here is gonna share some fun metal facts about our brother and friend, Talon Leach.
In true metalhead fashion, we figured Talon would want us to yell these fun facts at you today. He would also be disappointed that we're not wearing jorts, but I hope he forgives us. A little bit about Talon is that he truly embraced and embodied the family and the brotherhood as part of his community, and it's part of what drove him every day. You could tell when he came into work, when he was hanging out, that he was doing it for his brothers. He cared that much. Now don't get it twisted, he would still speak truth to power when it needed to be done. So you might get a text or a message from him for not showing up to a family function, and he might tell you you're dead to him, but in a weird way you knew it was out of love. Last but not least, he appreciated the finer things in life, and he would want you to get a little sexy sax in your life today. Take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Talon Leach. Don't forget the name.
Well, hello. We are Team 10, officially Team Leach today. We have some lovely guests, as you can see. And we are hoofing it through Alabama towards Lexington, right? I don't really know where we are. I'm not good at this. I've been over this. I'm not good at doing this. Oh, yeah. We've got Talon's playlist going.
It's been interesting. There's some Miley Cyrus pop-ups in there between the metal. So I know life is metal, but life is also Miley Cyrus. But I wanted to share a story. My favorite memory of Talon, which is I had my kiddo over at their house one time. He was 7 at the time, and he was playing tag with Talon. But if you've never met my son, he likes to make up rules so that he wins at literally everything he does, and he gets very upset if he loses. So Talon is getting bossed around by a 7-year-old, making up rules as they go. And Chad says, you can't let a 7-year-old boss you around like that. You have to tell him no. You have to tell him the rules of tag or just, tag. Like, it's pretty simple. Not that hard. And Talon says, well, I can't say no to him. I don't know what to do. Clearly, he knows how to play tag way better than I do. And Chad just, no, like, you have to tell him it's not okay to make up rules. Well, a couple months go by, Talon comes in, we pick him up from the airport, Jackson's in the back seat. And Jackson says, hey man, we gonna play tag? And Talon goes, kind of looks at Chad, he says, no man, I don't think we should play tag anymore. And yeah, so Talon, being Talon and being hardcore, still had a really big soft spot for my 7-year-old son who's extremely bossy. And I loved it. And he would give anything to hang out with the kids if they came up to him. You could be in the middle of a conversation with Talon, and he would just, oh, you gotta go, and he'd run up and play with the Rugrats. And I love that about him.
Even in the worst time of my life, I have the strength to get up and move forward because he'll always be with me. I'll always carry him. And, he will send me messages through music in times that I need, and he did through this ruck march. There were times where one time I was having a meltdown on one of the rucks. I was just an emotional mess, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a big old green trash truck ran by, and Leech was centered on it. And I knew, those things happen, and you realize that they're always gonna be with you. They're always gonna, every step you take, not just in this 900 miles, but for the rest of our lives, they're gonna be with us and always beside us. And that was a healing process. It took this for me to realize that that was gonna happen, and that has been such a huge healing process with all of this. And it's never gonna go away. It's always gonna be there, and there's always gonna be tough days and hard days. But this ruck has given me back the strength that I thought that I lost and that I was never gonna get back. It's an indescribable feeling to know that, you really do have a family for life, and they care about you. They're going to help raise these children and tell about their fathers. They're gonna make sure that us wives, no matter where we go in our lives, are always taken care of and always know that we have a shoulder to cry on. Even in 10 years, when we get thrown to our knees because of something reminds us, we're always gonna have that support. And that means more than anything throughout this entire journey.
Let's go back and tell me a little bit more about Ryan.
Ryan is Ryan. We met up in Flint, Michigan at the hospital I was working at. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, and he was doing a month of training for school up there to be a corpsman. He was delivering a baby with the doctor, and the baby came out, he held the baby in his arms and just stared at it and froze. Just kept looking. I'm like, Ryan, put the baby on mom's belly. And he just kept looking. Had to do it 3 different times, and finally I said, Ryan, put the baby on mom's belly. And then he was like, oh, and threw it on mom's belly.
And you had a connection to the Yankee 72, correct?
Yes, I was on the other flight.
Ryan and Greg were best friends for years, and this would have been their first deployment together as SARCs. They were looking forward to being deployed together and being each other's wingman.
I don't remember if it was Nate specifically reaching out to me or to the team chief and basically giving the heads up, we're doing this, how many guys are interested in doing this. I think I found out while I was on deployment, and they were just like, how many guys are interested and can you afford to do this? Yeah. So being the other half of basically the surviving members of the team, if you will, hate to put it that way. That's how we kind of, most of us who fell into that category came out here, and they allowed us to participate.
And he would keep me updated, send me pictures. He actually walked from Mississippi to Camp Lejeune, the whole ruck, with baby Ryan's onesie pinned to his ruck.
We're out here hitting the streets of Sumter, bringing you some more fun facts today in honor of our brother Ryan Lowry. We got a special guest speaker today. I'm gonna put him here behind the mic and let him go ahead and kick it away. How's it going, everyone? It's a little fun fact about Ryan. He was an exceptionally talented athlete in pretty much every sport he played. Him and I would go golfing a lot. Now I'm left-handed, he's right-handed. Him hitting his right-hand club, sliced the ball up to the left side of the fairway, up against a tree. He couldn't use his right-hand club. So he grabbed one of my clubs, which is left-handed, 210 yards, and put it 2 feet from the pin. I was very close to him with my own left-handed club and shanked it into the pond. It infuriated me, to say the least. Ryan was also had a stomach, I don't know, a steel. He would come in and have a bowl with oatmeal, protein, and peanut butter and eat that every morning. That was his breakfast after he would bike, however, 17 miles to work. And he would never wash it. I don't know why, he just never did. But he got me onto it, though I was a little bit cleaner and washed mine. But Ryan turned me onto that, and there is yet to I see anything that went to his stomach that he had a problem putting down. So that's a little fun fact for now. Tune in later and we'll have some more special guests for you.
How are your feet?
They're gross. I would show them to you, but I don't want to take my shoes off right now.
I don't want to see them.
Oh, you sure that everybody else doesn't want to see them?
Guys, yesterday we didn't get a chance to talk about not only where we were walking through, but our brother Joseph Murray. And even though we're rucking in honor of Dietrich Schmiemann today, we figured he wouldn't mind if we gave you some words of wisdom and some fun facts about our brother Joe. So, Joe, as you guys might have been following yesterday, was a man of high integrity, loved his family, loved his job. He was a great person. He was also the highest professional that I've worked with in the way he treated his job. I know you guys associate Marines with how they treat their guns and it's their baby, but let me tell you, I've never seen anyone with a bigger gun cleaning case than Joseph Murray. It was probably bigger than any tackle box most of you use to go fishing. The man balanced being a professional warfighter and a great husband, father, and son with the best of them. On to Dietrich. No less the professional. I can't think of Dietrich without thinking of Silkies. He lived by that motto, skies out, thighs out, sun's out, guns out. And he lived his life like a party. Loved himself some tequila. And he didn't let a day pass by without living it fully, like so many of the men we've spoken about so far.
This journey really means nothing unless their names are remembered. And more so than their names, the character and what they stood for and the roots that they put down and the foundation they stood upon. So I'm going to share with you two things that I share with my son each night that I took away from the teams and the men that I served beside and our brothers that we lost. Number one, what is a warrior? What does a warrior do? A warrior does the work. You can talk anything you want to, you can say words, but it means nothing until you put your sweat into it and your feet hit the pavement. Take that one with you. Remember, a warrior does the work, wherever you're at. Number two, talk about character. Our brothers were men of character. I think you see that through all the posts that were put out and their names on these walls. What is character? Simple definition, it means to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly. Wherever you're at, take that with you. Do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly. I guarantee you take those with you, just like our brothers lived, and you'll go far in life. Success isn't what the world defines it as, it's how you live your life, part of the way in honor of our brothers. Anyway, take that with you. A little bit more serious of a fact, but can't wait to see you all at the poorhouse. Rock on.
Never above you.
Never above you. Always beside you. Woo! Go Raiders! Go Raiders! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Go Raiders! Go Raiders! Okay.
Hi, Ed.
Finishing the final leg into Stumptown Park.
I thought about my kids a lot while I was doing this, and I want to show them resilience. I want to show them that people die, but love doesn't die. And you know, if it meant walking the face of the earth for him, I would have done it. So I just feel really proud of myself, and I know that feeling will stay.
Hey guys, thank you.
You know, it's just an amazing experience that brings us together. We honor our guys, and then these new friendships develop that keep that support system going. And now we have friends, you know, all the way from Mississippi to here. So you'll never be alone if you want to go on a long road trip.
You know, you have to push forward for your kids, for your family, and get out there. I went to work after a month or two, you know, like, you kind of just get stuck in this routine. So to step out for a week and a half, do this ruck, I don't know, a month from now, I'm probably gonna miss it. I'm gonna be wanting to have this physical thing that I'm doing all the time. And because you know, you're sharing your husband's legacy, you're doing all this stuff for him all the time. But to be physically doing something out there in the world, telling people, no, this was my husband, this is why we do this is who I am. And I'm probably gonna miss it a lot. Maybe not so much the blisters, but I'll miss putting it all out there. This is who our husbands were, this is who our friends were.
You know, these people will always be around. You know, I can go back to Columbia, South Carolina, and I know that I'm gonna find somebody there that knows what we did, and they're gonna take me and his family, or in Tallapoosa, Alabama, or, you know, anywhere we were in Winona, Mississippi. We have family throughout this country now, and they are gonna rally around our families, and not just as wives, but our entire Raider community. And that's something that is a beautiful, beautiful thing to know.
All right.
Is Daddy down there?
Get him.
Go! Get Dad!
People are going through difficult times and they usually don't talk about it. And maybe that young man that came out to shake your hand, maybe he was contemplating suicide because he was a Marine in Iraq and maybe one of his friends died, and the fact that we're doing this ruck march has made enough of an impact on him to show him that, hey, you know, there's ways that you can recover from that in a positive way. You know, the answer to your problems isn't always at the bottom of an alcoholic beverage. Sometimes you got to pick up a pack and sweat it out with a couple buddies that knew him and share stories and reflect on the positive impact that those individuals had on their life. And there's a lot of people that came out were going through similar issues.
Say a little prayer for clear skies.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, that way I should tell. Yes. It's a hobble. We get a hobble cake.
Let's face it, and I'll talk real to you guys. You know, the pictures that are usually shown when we pass away are pictures that are required for us to take, and it's a pre-deployment requirement to get these pictures, and it's typically not the most flattering picture. And I've heard a lot of funny stories from the family members, like, oh yeah, he was borrowing his friend's Alpha's blouse on that picture. He called me that day and told me about it didn't fit, and he was holding his breath when he took that picture, and we didn't want that to be the picture that they're remembered by. It's the pictures of them holding their children, hugging their wives, standing there with their families. And what we did with this ruck march is we dedicated a day to each one of them. And if they liked wearing, extra small silkies with American flags on them, by God, we were wearing American flag silkies that day when we were rucking. Our goal here was to bring our brothers home, and we're standing here in front of you today and say mission success. I'd like to call Colonel Brooks to please join me up at the podium. What we'd like to do is present this battle to Colonel Brooks, the regimental commander, on behalf of the Marine Raider Memorial March, to be hung in the Hall of Honor at 2nd Marine Raider Battalion in honor of the 16 men who lost their lives on July 10, 2017 aboard Yankee 72.
All right. First of all, welcome back. It's great to see you. There's a lot of symbols in what just happened here. There's precious cargo in these packs behind you that are going to have deeper meaning and more long-lasting meaning in the days ahead. But I hope that you all know inside of those packs, you carried a lot of other symbolic cargo. You carried grief, you carried love, you carried hope. You walked that route on behalf of so many who could not. But all that cargo was with you when you made that hike, and I can tell you, if you don't mind me pausing, just to express and allow everybody else to join in here, to express our gratitude for what you just did on behalf of all of us. Thank you. Semper Fidelis, Spiritus Invictus, and Gung Ho.
being at the end, as you can tell, you can't go through something like this and not have it touch you. It's been absolutely, as Steve said it would be, it'll be one of the best things that you've done in your career.
The more that time passes, I'm choosing to view these moments not with sorrow, but with joy and appreciation that I had the opportunity to know them. Giants among men, who are of extraordinary substance and character. It seems those men spent their time on earth teaching the rest of us what living life should look like, and to never let an opportunity to make others' lives better pass us by. It seems that in death, they still illuminate our path, help us find a tailwind, and guide our hearts back home.